Alright, so to achieve that, let us now add a functionality here. Let's go back to our code. Let's go to our home. And in our home here, we want to add another functionality inside here in our categories by parent. So same thing, you can just copy this line. I mean, it's the same thing basically. And then here, after the div, also add an a tag closing. So yeah, now I'm going to get a category ID and pass it here. But so what I'm trying to say, for example, is that we're only querying for the category ID that we receive. We're not querying for any other category. Let me show you what I mean. So here, if I click on tools, we're gonna get nothing. You see there's nothing because there's no post which has a category ID of tools, but the children of the tools definitely have a post like a screwdriver. You see what I'm trying to say? And therefore, for example, here, like in the drinks, if I click on drinks, I think I have some posts with drinks. Yes, we have 3 posts with drinks, but the drinks falls under which category? Under the food. But if I click on the food, it's gonna get 0 because it's checking if there's any post like related to the ID of food, not its children. So now we're gonna create an algorithm which is going to query and get all the children of the category first, and then after getting the children, it's going to get all the posts of those children's ID. So let me show you how this is done. So we can go back. Let's go to our search. So now here, after querying the first time, getting post by current ID. Now we can just comment out this. Now I'm gonna check if this current category has children. So how to do that? We can first get the category from the database. So you type this category is equals to category model in here, find. So we're gonna get the model with this ID, same ID that we passed in our URL. We're just gonna get the whole model now so we can do some functionality with it. So here we're gonna check if this category has children, count. Then in here we're going to get all its children's ID. So for example, if I click on home definitely has children. So this is gonna pass as a check. And next, what we're gonna do, we're gonna get all its children category ID by creating a separate function. So here, we're gonna declare this function here, get child ID. In here, we're gonna pass the current category model, this one. We're gonna pass this category model. So here, type this category. All right, so now let us go and create this function up here, up above the mount. So here, it's going to be just a static function. So here, type function, remove the public. In here, we can, what's the name of this? Get child ID. You're gonna receive a parameter category. And so here, we're gonna loop through all the category children. All right, next here for each this category, this category children, here we're gonna add another where parent ID is equals to this same category ID. All right, then the value will be a child here. Now, after getting all the category which fall under this one, this current, let's say for example here, just to visualize everything, food. Now we're gonna get all the categories under food, the first level. So I'm gonna use an array push this into an array. So in here, I'm gonna declare a variable. Here you can say this children IDs. This is an array, and then here type a comma, push this child ID after finding it into this children's ID variable. So here child ID, and also if this same child has other children, for example in the food we get a child saying spices, for example, and then spices also has a child here saying black pepper. Right, so what it's gonna do is gonna get the food, right? After getting this ID, we want to go through all the children. So now we're going to add another functionality which is going to loop through this same function again so it can get the ID of the people. So if people has more like people 2, it's going to get its ID to basically all the ID that belong to this as a parent. All of these going to get them and push them into this array from here into here. So now I'm going to check if this same child category has another child. Then I'm going to loop through this function. So here child, the count is true. I'm gonna get this child ID, this get child ID, and then I'm gonna pass the child model. As simple as that. If it doesn't have any child, then just don't do anything. Let us create this array up here. So here just say public children's IDs is equals to array. I decline an array now. Like down here, after checking if this has children, let's check how our progress is going. We can simply try to output this children's ID so we can see if it actually has children, these children's IDs. You see? In here, for example, on tools, yeah, it has children which are 15 and 33, the children of this ID. And if I go here in the bedroom, bedroom also has children. It can be something like electronics too, it also has these IDs as children. So just to show you this visualizing nicely, let me open another tab. Yes, now let's go to our category. So you see in the electronics, we have all these categories. I created this just to make it easy for you to understand this part. Category 25, 27, 32. So each category has an ID. I just put this ID in the code. You can do that too. 31, 34, 30, 32. So if you see, the categories being gotten here are also the same. 31, 32, 30, 25, 24. So it's getting all the IDs under the electronics. If I go back and try to click on, kitchen, kitchen only has one child ID, and if you come here and verify it, fridge has an ID of 9, and here 9, as you can see 9 like that. Let's say which category has more children. On outdoor, let me try to click on outdoor. In here, let me try to click on outdoor, which is this one. It's getting child 8 and 10. Child 8 and 10, which are the children. So we are successfully able to get our children from the ID of the parent. All right, so now we have one more thing to do here. We're going to check after getting all these children ID, if this certain ID has a post, then we're going to add the post to our collection so we can later output it in our blade file.